Good morning, dear students. I am Ms. Vandana Pai. In today's lecture of the subject Principles of Business Management, we will be going through the types of organizing or the types of organization. Prior to actually starting the types of organizing or organization, let's have a review of what we have studied into last lecture. Yes, the concept of organizing. What is organizing? Yes, organizing is a process of coordinating employees' activities in an orderly manner. Okay, see, whenever we think about completion of the production activity, or whenever we think about the production activity itself, yes, what we need, yes, first of all, we need to gather or collect all the factors of production related to the production activity. Right? What we do? Yes, we collect all the resources whatsoever we need so that we can incept the production activity. Okay. After that, okay. Yes, what we are supposed to do? We are supposed to establish a link between all these resources. We are supposed to establish a link between all these resources so that we can ensure, yes, smooth operation of this production activity. Okay, now whenever it comes to organizing, what is done? See, in organizing or in this process, okay, a set of relationship that defines vertical and horizontal relationship amongst people who perform various tasks and duties, it is done. Okay, see, organizing ensures that you build a set of relationships. Okay, see, which relationship? Yes, it is always interpersonal relationship. What is it? Yes, whenever the relationship between two or more people happens, such type of relationship is called as interpersonal relationship. See, whenever it comes to your workplace, whenever it comes to your organization, yes, see, due to your designation, due to the role which you are performing into the organization itself, okay, the relation between superior and subordinate, it is established. Okay, this superior subordinate relationship, it is a part of organization rules and regulations. Okay, and many of the time what happens, yes, whenever we work into some of the organization, yes, due to that workplace also you are required to, or if you do find some of the people having the mutual interest or same thinking, or they might be from your age group. Okay, if you find some people who are from your age group, whose behavior matches with you, surely, yes, you form a team. Right, you form a team. So in the organization there are certain teams which are set up by the management or through your job role, and some of the teams or some of the relations, they are established by your own. Okay, so when we think about organizing, or whenever we think about this function, what is organizing? Organizing itself is, yes, collecting all the resources which you need to complete the production activity and establish a link between all these resources so that you can ensure the smooth production activity. Okay, if you think that the production activity should be completed in time, then always what you should be doing? Yes, always you should be caring about the resources, and you should be able to, yes, to generate a good relation or good link between all the resources whichever you are hiring for the production activity. Okay, getting it? So whenever we think about organizations or this activity which is done into the organization, or the function which is carried in the organization, which is called as organizing. Okay, see, the organization can be divided into two types or can be classified into two types. Okay, see, uh, whenever it comes to work, some of the relationship they are established, because as we all know, humans are social animals. Okay, when it comes to workplace or any another place, okay, we need to talk. Okay, we need to spend time with people having the same interest. Okay, so what we do, okay, whenever we are working somewhere, whenever we are at the workplace, yes, some of the relations they are established by the organization, while some of the relations they are established by we ourselves. Okay, so both these relations they are titled as formal relations as well as informal relations. So what is this formal relation, or what is this formal organization, and what is informal organization, we will be going through in this lecture. Okay, see, first one is formal organization. See, in every enterprise, is it, every enterprise we do find certain rules and procedures, right? Okay, in every enterprise we do find certain rules and procedures, okay, to ensure the work is done in time or work is accomplished in time. There are certain rules and procedures laid down by the organization. Okay, see, due to this rules and regulation itself, okay, the enterprise, it does functions in a smooth manner. Okay, due to the rules and procedures which are laid down by the organization itself, the functioning of the organization, it is conducted in a smooth way or sound way. Okay, further, okay, this rules and procedures, okay, they establish certain relationship between the employees. Okay, they establish certain relationship among the employees. For example, okay, if you are appointed as an assistant manager, okay, the prefix which is added before manager, it means that yes, you will be assisting someone. Whom you will be assisting? Yes, there will be someone who will be general or main person, okay, and you will be assisting that person, right? Okay, so what is the relationship between you and that person? Yes, the relationship between you as assistant manager and the main manager, okay, or the general manager itself is, yes, subordinate superior relation, right? Okay, subordinate superior relation. Okay, now this relationship, it is established by you. Yes, is it established by you? No. Who has established this relations? Yes, your work has established relation. Okay, and where do you work? You work in the organization. So whenever the organization or the management, it establishes a relationship between you and other person, it is called as formal organization, or such type of relationship they are included in formal relations. Okay, so the management is responsible for designing the formal organization in such a way that it specifies a clear boundary of authority and responsibility. See, okay, whenever the relationship is established between the superior and subordinate, or subordinate and superior, okay, both the persons, both the people, means the superior as well as the subordinate, okay, superior as well as subordinate, okay, both these people, they are clear that whom they are answerable and who is answerable to them, is it? So, okay, uh, it is quite clear to both superior as well as the subordinate that, okay, whom they are answerable and who is answerable to them, is it? So whenever we think about formal organization, yes, in formal organization the management builds the formal organization, right? It ensures smooth functioning of the enterprise, and it defines the nature of interrelationship among the diverse job positions. Okay, additionally, these ensures that the organization goals are collectively achieved. Okay, also formal organization facilitates coordination, interlinking and integration of diverse department within an enterprise. Okay, see what is done into formal organization. Yes, a coordination is established, or a link is established between all the departments of the organization. Okay, it lays more emphasis on the work to be done without stressing much on interpersonal relationship. See, in formal organization, what is done? Yes, the authority and responsibilities, it is quite clear, is it? And who will be directing you, who will be commanding you. It is quite clear to the subordinates as well as the superiors. They are also clear that who okay who is a person to whom they will be delegating the authority, or whom they will be giving the task, is it? So this, due to this what happens, okay, there is no interpersonal relations, okay, there is no interpersonal relations, or just, okay, the management laid down the duties, responsibilities, and allocates the duties and responsibilities to all the concerned people. Okay, it ensures the coordination between all the departments so that they will collectively work for organization goals accomplishment. Okay, now there are certain advantages of formal organization as well as there are certain disadvantages of formal organization. So what are the advantages and what are the disadvantages? Let's see. Okay, the formal organization clearly outlines the relationship among employees. Okay, see, through your rules, regulations, and policies itself, okay, through the designation itself, okay, who is the superior and who is the subordinate, who is answerable to whom, who will be commanding whom, okay, all these relations, they are clearly outlined into the designation itself as well as into the rules and procedures which are laid down by the organization. So clear outline is provided related to relations among the employees of your organization. Okay, then an established chain of commands, okay, is maintained, which ensures the unity of command. Okay, means see, the superior and subordinate, usually they are clear about what, okay, the subordinate is clear about, okay, who will be commanding him. For example, okay, if whenever that person is accomplishing the task, many of the time he might get stuck into some of the problems, okay, or he might not be able to carry the task further, okay, and he needs certain consultancy or he needs solution from someone. Okay, now whom he should be approaching? Yes, when this question arises into his mind, okay, what the management says, yes, if you get stuck into any problem, yes, do contact your superior. Okay, see, whenever it comes to formal organization, in formal organization, yes, surely, yes, that person is knowing or he is quite clear that if he stucks into any type of task, yes, he will readily approach his superior and get the problem resolved. Okay, so it helps to maintain the unity of command. Okay, who is answerable to whom and who is answerable to you. Okay, all these things, they are quite clear into formal organization. Yes, as the duties of each member is clearly defined, there is no confusion in individual roles whatsoever. Further, there is no duplication of efforts, which eliminates any wastage. See, all the roles or the duties, okay, and the work which a subordinate should be doing or which an employee should be doing, it is quite clear. Okay, it is quite defined into the policies and procedures, okay, and rules which are laid down by the organization. Okay, so there is no duplication, no wastage, okay, and no error into your role. Okay, whatsoever role you are assigned with, you are quite clear with the rule. Okay, what you are supposed to do, what the organization expects from you, all these things, they are quite clear, is it? Then clear definition of rules and procedure. Clear definition of rules and procedure. In formal organization, what is done, see, the behaviors and relationship among the members, they are predictable. Okay, see, the unity of direction, unity of command, right? Okay, who is whose boss, who is superior to whom, okay, who is subordinate of whom. Okay, if you want to delegate the authority, whom you can delegate, all these things, they are quite clear. Okay, they are quite clearly defined in the rules and procedures of your organization. Okay, it is quite easier for you, to define the relationship of the organization. Okay, so there will be no confusion, no ambiguity. Okay, then yes, finally it leads to achievement of organization goals and objectives. Yes, no one will interrupt no one's work. Okay, they are clear with their works, what they are supposed to do, what they are not supposed to do. Okay, do's and don'ts, they are aware about all those things, is it? So there will be no confusion. Okay, as there is no confusion into the task, okay, there will be no is it delay in the task accomplishment, and surely it will lead towards, yes, achievement of organization goals and objectives. Okay, but as we all know, there are two sides of each coin. Okay, formal organization is good in some respect, as well as there are certain disadvantages of formal organization. Let's see what are the disadvantages of formal organization. Yes, see, decision making is slow in formal organization. How? Yes, you are supposed to follow a chain of command. Okay, you are supposed to follow a, so whenever it comes to formal organization, yes, okay, see, you are supposed to follow the protocol, right? If you want to have some permissions, okay, for example, if you need to have leave, if you want to do anything innovative, creative, yes, if you want to change the method of your work, what you can do? Can you do it on your own? No, you're required to ask your superior. Then your superior will be asking their superior. In such a way, it will go through management, then it will be approved, and then it will be communicated to you. So it is quite slow procedure. Okay, then second thing, formal organizations, they are rigid in nature. Okay, this means that there prevails perfect discipline coupled with no deviation from the procedures. Okay, the rules and regulations, okay, they are strictly to be obeyed by the employees of the organization. And if for example you have creative ideas, if you have innovative ideas, you can't do anything unless until the management permits you to do it. Yes, you can't do it. Okay, if the management still, if your ideas, they are innovative and creative, still if it doesn't allow you, then yes, surely you have to leave it. You have to leave the idea, and you are supposed to follow all the traditional methods itself, is it? Okay, so it doesn't encourage your talent. Okay, then it does not take into account social nature of humans. Okay, see, your emotions, is it, your feelings, they are not considered into the organization. Okay, you need to talk with your colleagues. Okay, such type of things, they are not allowed. Okay, just you are supposed to complete your work, right? Okay, hence it does not entirely display the functioning of the organization. Okay, your social nature is never entertained into formal organization due to the rigid structures which is adopted into the organization. Okay, so formal organization means all those organizations which are established by the management itself, the relationships which are established by the management itself into its rules and procedures. Okay, then the other part is informal organization. What is informal organization all about? So what is informal organization? See, it is quite easier to understand. Okay, as whenever we consider human beings, okay, human beings, they are social in nature, right? Okay, whenever it comes to people, okay, or a team, okay, or even it is a workplace, okay, certain people regularly tend to meet each other, they interact with each other, and they become informal with them. Okay, this is because we develop interpersonal relationship with them, which are not based solely on work purposes. Rather, this relationship might arise because of shared interest, like if you get to know that your colleague likes the same thing, okay, then surely you come under a team, right? Okay, as a matter of fact, informal organization arises out of the formal organization. This is because when people frequently contact each other, we cannot force them into a rigid and completely formal structure. Instead, they bond over common interests and form groups based upon friendships and social interactions. Unlike formal organization, informal organization is fluid and there are no written or predefined rules for it. Essentially, it is complex web of social relationship among members which are born spontaneously. Further, unlike the formal organization, it cannot be forced or controlled by the management. Also, the standard of behavior evolve from group norms and not predefined rules and norms. Okay, lastly, as there are no defined structures or lines of communication, the interaction can be completely random, and independent lines of communication tend to emerge in informal organization. Okay, informal organization means, okay, they are part of formal organization actually. Okay, whenever the people they repeatedly interact with each other, okay, they repeatedly meet for completion of the projects and proposals. At the time, what happens, okay, if they have the same interest, then, okay, through their views, through their similar nature itself, they come together, they interact, okay, and they establish their informal groups. Okay, see, the organization can't establish standard of their behavior. Okay, means they can't establish certain rules and regulations related to informal organization. Okay, because it is on the person how to build the relationships. Okay, so in this type of organization, what actually is done is randomly anybody gets attached to any person, they interact with any person, and if they like to interact, then they repeatedly interact with each other. Okay, such type of relationships or such type of organizations, they are called as informal organizations. Okay, see, informal organization does has certain advantages, and also there are certain disadvantages of such type of organization. Okay, what are the advantages? Let's see. Okay, in this type of organization, communication does not need to follow the defined chain. Okay, for example, if you want to communicate with your colleague under informal organization, okay, if you do have friendship with that person, okay, with your colleague, then surely freely anytime you can communicate with that person. Okay, you don't need to take certain permissions from your superiors and all, is it? Freely you can communicate with that person. Or if you want to communicate with any person from another department, okay, under informal communication, yes, you can anytime approach that person and you can share your communication. Okay, see, so in informal communication, what is done, this implies that communication is an informal organization and is must faster relative to formal organization. Again, we know that humans are social animals, so the need to socialize exists deep within our existence. The informal organization ensures that there is a socialization within the enterprise. Consequently, members experience the sense of belongingness and job satisfaction. So, whenever it comes to informal organization, yes, socialization within the enterprise, it is followed. Okay, then feedbacks, informal organization ensures getting true feedbacks and reaction, okay, is not easy. See, whenever it comes to informal organization, if you want to have certain feedbacks from your colleagues, and if you do share certain bonding, if you do have friendship with that person will truly not give you the true picture of your any communication. So feedbacks, you don't get true feedbacks into such type of informal organizations, because what happens, okay, your friends, they don't even try to break your emotions or hurt your emotions, right? Okay, so whenever it comes to informal organization, yes, you don't get true feedbacks. There are certain disadvantages of such type of thing, is it? See, spread of rumors, it is possible. Okay, because if your informal relations, they are harmed, okay, if your friendship is broken, then surely that person can be true enemy of you. okay, and they can okay, if you have disclosed all the things with that person, surely they can spread rumors related to you, or they can communicate that with your superiors, and surely it can harm your relation with that superior. Okay, so whenever it comes to informal organization, if you want to implement any change, okay, see, as there are certain teams into your organization, surely it will um, these teams, they will oppose any changes if you want to make into your organization. Okay, then disruption of the organization. See, if such type of friendship groups and such type of same interest groups they are formed, okay, such type of informal groups they are formed, what will happen? Yes, the focus from task oriented to people oriented will be shifted. Okay, means the task may not be completed. Yes, the task may not be completed, or task may not be accomplished. Okay, there will be wastage of working hours. This can happen. So these are the some of the disadvantages of informal organization. So okay, students, they are required to listen the videos carefully. They are required to take their notes from this. Okay, and if they have any queries related to the content discussed till now, okay, of the subject principles of business management, they can share it in the comment box beneath this YouTube video. Okay, thank you.